Check this out for a sec. Think about this. Have you ever had enemies? Have you ever had anybody make false accusations against you or portray you to be somebody or something that you're not, or say that you've done things that you haven't actually done to try and ruin your reputation or try and make you look like something you're not? Has that ever happened to you? I'm pretty sure it has, right? I'm sure people have given false testimony against you. Now think about it like this for a sec. Let's say you own a company, right? It's a painting company or something, right? People know about your company in the city. They know the name of it. You know what I mean? They know about your company. Now, let's say I didn't like you. And I thought, how could I destroy this person? I don't like them. I don't like their company. I want to ruin their reputation. How can I do that? Most people wouldn't go to this length or this effort, but I'll tell you, the most effective way that you could possibly destroy somebody, their business, or what they represent, or destroy their reputation completely. Or at least how this can happen. Think about it like this. Look at the Bloods and the Crips, right? Now, the leaders of the Bloods and Crips do not stand for rape, for, preying on children, but there have been Bloods and Crips that have done these type of crimes. And then other gangs looked at the Bloods and was like, you guys are all rapists because one of your members raped a woman. So now you're all rapists. You're all pieces of shit. We don't fuck with you guys. You're all fucked, right? But that one person doesn't represent the morals and principles of that gang, the entire gang, the whole company, so to speak. But this is how stupid people are. One person will do something, and then everyone will look at that entire gang or that entire company and be like, you're a piece of shit. You're fake. You're false. You're a bunch of goofs. Whatever. Even though that the creator of that gang, the Bloods or whatever, Bloods or Crips, literally built the foundation on actually regulating their neighborhood in a gangster ass way where they're punching people out like that and killing guys like that prey on the innocent, that prey on women, that prey on children. The creators of that gang don't stand for that shit. And if they knew, they would have killed that member. But the entire world seen it already. It's too late. So now the entire world thinks the Bloods are a bunch of goofs. Automatically, no, we fuck with the Crips now. Just because one guy did that. But even though the creator, the founder of that gang would never stand for something like that, they don't teach that stuff. They don't allow that. They stand against it completely. And that one guy that did that knows that he would be killed for that if he got caught. Now, imagine if you have a company and I want to destroy your reputation as a person and as a company, as a business. I get a job at your company on purpose, right? This is the craziest thing, right? If I really wanted to destroy anybody, I could, or their business, or what they represent, and I could turn the entire city against them. I could turn the entire world against them if the entire world witnessed what I'm about to say or what I'm about to do. So listen, I join your company, your painting company, and I go on now I've been with the company for a while, you know what I'm saying? Everybody thinks that I'm with your company now in the city and I represent your company, right? Perfect. Check this out. Now all I gotta do is go and do a bunch of evil shit or mouth a bunch of people off or look unprofessional on Facebook or YouTube or, you know what I mean? Basically make a fool out of your company because I represent your company. Or at least I'm pretending to represent your company on purpose because I want to destroy your reputation. So I join your company to act like I represent it, and I'm one of you guys, and then I go and do a bunch of evil. I kick a bunch of doors in, I burn a bunch of houses down. I get caught selling crystal meth. I get caught doing all types of evil shit, right? Well, guess what? It's exactly what I wanted to do to destroy the reputation of this company. Okay? I succeed because now the news picks that up, the law picks that up, the town picks that up, everybody picks that up, and they're like, wow, did you know the fucking guy that works for that painting company has been selling meth to kids? Wow. Fuck that company. Let's burn it to the ground. That all those guys are a bunch of goofs. But guess what? That company, that painting company, was full of hardworking men that created a business honestly to earn money and to help people, right? But there's the one guy that was like, if I wanted to destroy this company, I could join it, wear one of their shirts, act like I'm one of them, and then go do a bunch of evil shit and let the town look at that, witness that, and then they're going to point the finger at that company and say, you guys are bad, you guys are no good, we're shutting you down. You're a lie, you're false. Okay? You're going to understand what I'm getting at in a minute. Okay. So the best way to infiltrate a gang or a company or a person is to basically pretend that I'm your friend, infiltrate you from the inside, make a mockery out of you. That makes an example to everyone that's looking, and now the whole world shuns you. This is what Satan does with the Bible and with Christianity. There are false prophets and false bodies, fake churches, these big, huge churches that are pretending to do things in Jesus' name, and they're acting like they come in Jesus' name and all this stuff, and they're Christians and all this stuff, but they're doing pure evil. Some of them are child molesters. Some of them are just straight up, doing it to trick people to make money. But they're using something that is real. They're using something that is true. Just like that company. That company is real. That company is true. They are not all a bunch of pieces of shit. There was one person that joined that company to dirty the name of that company. That is what Satan has done to the church and to the Bible and to Christianity. He looked at it and he's like, maybe if I create a cult and we all call ourselves Christians and we do all of the opposite, we do the opposite of what the Bible teaches and what Jesus teaches and what God represents, which is blasphemy, right? And then we can turn everybody against Jesus. We can turn everybody against the Bible. We can turn everybody against God. So that way they don't worship a God. They don't want to know their God because they think God's whatever. They think he's a weirdo. Perfect plan, because then when that happens, everyone's going to look at me like the hero and they're going to worship me. Okay? Yeah. Listen, you humans are too easy. I used to be a criminal. I used to manipulate people every single day. I used to rob people on a daily basis. I could fucking trick anybody I want. I could join your group of people, your friends, hang out with you guys every day for a year, and then tell each one of you a lie that one of the other person said about you. And then I could turn you all against each other and have you all fucking punching each other out and fighting with each other and divide you guys, okay? I've seen it happen a million times, okay? So if I wanted to do that to you, I could. But now that I just said that, well, that would give you a heads up and that wouldn't work anymore. But if I just came to you as a friend with a common interest that you're interested in, maybe like Pokemon cards, maybe like video games, whatever. I end up linking up with you because we played video games on Call of Duty once. Now we're hanging out. Now you introduce me to your friends. Now I'm hanging out with you guys. I'm a part of you guys. So anything I do makes you guys look bad now. So I could turn you all against each other if I wanted to from the inside out. And that's what the devil does. That's what Satan does. He's the trickiest, smartest demon there is, okay? So that's what Satan did. That's what the devil did. That's what evil people did with Christianity. So now everybody's looking at Christianity like it's a false, you guys are fake, the Bible's a lie, it contradicts itself. Look at what you got, what you Christians are doing, lying to people, deceiving them for profit, to make money out of the church. Now, you're right. There is a body of people calling themselves Christians that are doing all of these things, all of these evil things. That's not what the Bible ever said was okay. Now you're going to be like, oh yeah, no, the Bible said it's okay to kill women and children, blah, 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 and all that stuff. No, it didn't. No, it didn't. I have it right here, okay? There's an index that says, did God really allow women and children to be killed? Now, God talked about these things happening, and people looked at that like, oh, I think he's saying that this is okay. God regulated. He said, God was like, you shall not murder, you shall not kill, you should not steal, you should not do any evil. God does not allow any, he doesn't say that we can do evil. You know what I'm saying? But people do it anyways. Bloodlines and generations of people do it anyway. So God said, if you're going to sin and you're going to do these things, I'm going to regulate them. Now listen, bottom line is, right? I'm going to make a series of videos on all of those things. Every conflict when it comes to the Bible, the apparent contradictions, letting women and children be, God saying that you can go and kill them and stuff like that. God destroys evil. God is the authority that can take and give life. If God wipes out an entire bloodline, even if there's women and children, because God knows the future. He knows that maybe these children, he already knows what they're going to live, the life they're going to live, where their hearts are going to be, if they're going to reject God or not, if they're going to live a life full of evil. God already knows that. So God has the authority to wipe them out before they even get a chance to do any of that. To us, that doesn't make sense because we're humans. Our comprehension level doesn't reach a capacity like that to understand something on such a large scale where something like that could be okay. Now, if you knew one of these kids that raped your mother and killed your mother was going to grow up and do that, would it be better for that kid to be wiped out before they grew up and did that? Like maybe they killed 100 people. Maybe they raped 100 people, serial kill. Maybe that kid grew up and killed hundreds of kids. You know what I'm saying? What would be better, to let that kid grow up and go and do all that and kill 100 people or rape a bunch of women? Or if God could foresee that, wouldn't he be like, you know what, this bloodline's no good. I'm wiping you out. You're not going to do that. Anyways, it's too vast to understand in such a small context. It has to be broken down on a large scale. You can't just see shit on the internet and be like, see, God said this, so he's evil. Bro, you got to pick the Bible up and read the entire fucking thing front to back. That's what I did because I wanted to see if this shit was true myself. I'm not going to go off what people told me, the internet or some fucking documentary I watched online. No. I want to go right to the source, and the source is the book itself, the Bible. So if I go in there and read some shit that don't make sense, I'm going to say it. I'm going to be like, yo, fuck that. You know what I mean? Guess what? That didn't happen. I picked that book up and read it front to back because I had no fucking choice. I was in a jail cell 23 hours a day on lockdown for months. There was nothing but a Bible, and I picked it up on purpose to see if I could decode it. Not even believing in it. And it was the realest thing I ever read. I'm like, what the fuck are these people talking about? None of this shit is in there. Then I had to go deeper. Because, you know what? I've had people say about me, everything in the book. Everything you could imagine. This guy's I've heard everything. And it just blows my mind. I'm like, these people are liars at heart. There is nothing that you could show to them that would prove who you are to them because they don't want to hear it. They don't care. They don't care. They're number one intent. They just don't like you, so they want to ruin your reputation. They want to ruin your character and try to say all these things about you that aren't true. You know what I'm saying? And it's mind-boggling to think and hear some of the stuff that people have said even about me. And what the fuck is going on, right? So I was like, okay, I know what happened to Jesus. He was a real motherfucker. He said some real shit. He did some real shit. And everybody hated him and became envious and jealous over it. And then they tried to ruin his reputation, and it sprouted from there. Politics, man. We don't do that. So anyways, you have to see the bigger picture, bro. All these fake Christians, all these fake Christian churches, all these fake, they are not teaching anything in the Bible. They're not saying, doing, or living, or doing anything that the Bible teaches. So how could they represent Christianity or Jesus Christ or the Bible? How? It's impossible, but you'll never, ever, ever know that unless you read the entire book yourself and you get to know who Jesus Christ was and what he represented and what the Bible represents and what God represents and why God does what he does. You will never fathom, comprehend, or understand in any aspect at all. As intelligent as you think you are, you lack the information. You just don't know. You're making a judgment based on a lack of knowledge and information. Now you can go ahead and say, oh, well, I seen all this and on the internet and I read all this and I seen these contradictions. No, you didn't. These are false. This is the devil trying to destroy the reputation of Jesus and his followers and turn the world against them by infiltrating it from the inside out. I just proved to you that I could do that to you. I could go and join any company I want and make a mockery out of it. And everybody in town and everyone in the city and everyone in the country is going to look at that company and be like, it's the company, you're no good. Because that's what people do. You know? So that's what Satan does. Okay, so Mormons, they have nothing to do with Christianity. The Catholic Church, they have nothing to do with Christianity. They teach false teachings that have nothing to do with the Bible. They twisted everything into their own benefit. They're a cult. One of the biggest cults there are is Mormons and Catholics. But they claim to be Christian. Right? What else? Everything. Hold on one sec. Somebody texted me. I don't want them to call in the middle of my video and then cut my video off because that's happened. Anyways, so bottom line is the infiltrator is Satan. He has created these fake churches and all these fake cults like the Catholic Church and Mormons and all these false gods and religions. By the way, Jesus Christ was against religion. He was against religious people. He spoke out and called them out and exposed them all the time. He never claimed that him and his following was a religion at any point in time. Man looked at Jesus and his followers and called it a religion and tried to group it with all the other religions. But if the creator of the thing itself is against religion, how could it be a religion? It's not, because whoever makes it dictates what it is. If I create a gang and I say we're against rape and some weirdo infiltrates our gang using common interests or whatever, like they get in the gang and they do these things, they do these evil things against the morals and principles of what I created the gang for, the company or whatever, right? Are you getting it? You know, it took me 10 plus years to figure all this out. I used to be just like all you guys. I used to think all the Bibles of Jesus, all this stuff, weirdos, goofs, pedophiles, get out of my face before I punch you out. I beat my own best friend up. I punched him out and ripped his gold chain off his neck for trying to talk about Jesus Christ to me when I was like 16 years old. I punched my own friend out because I was so outraged that he tried to talk about Jesus Christ to me that I beat him up and ripped his gold chain off, which was a cross, a gold cross. And then I sold it. That's pure evil. You know what I'm saying? But you know what? Just hearing, people hate the truth. Jesus was the truth. They hate it. Nobody wants to hear the truth. It makes them so mad that they'll fucking kill you for it. If you say some real shit to somebody, they'll fucking try and kill you for it. They'll fucking betray you. They'll spread false lies about you, politics. They will do anything to ruin your reputation. Because they you know what I mean? That's what evil does. Okay, so that's what happened with Christianity. What you're seeing, all of these people and all of these churches and all of these cults that call themselves Christians are not Christians. They don't represent the principles, morals, or values at all whatsoever of what Christianity was originated from. Jesus he didn't even call it Christianity. He's not, oh, we're Christianity. No, I'm Christ. These are my followers. Some guy comes over and looks at them. Oh, you guys are a religion. Okay. Let's just write that down in the books. No. Every other religion claims themselves as a religion except for Christianity and except for Christians, because Jesus was against religion. He called it out. He was against it. He taught us to be against religious ways and to be against religious thinking and anything to do with a religious way. Jesus was against. So how could he be religion? How could his followers be religion? It's impossible. They don't claim to be. Every other religion claims to be a religion except for true Christians. Because we know Jesus was against that. And we can see all these fake frauds and all this weird stuff going on. You know what I mean? But point blank period, that's how it happened, okay? So if I wanted to ruin your reputation or ruin your gang's reputation or ruin your company's reputation, I could get into it, represent it, do some evil, turn the whole city against you, step back, aha, and laugh at you while you guys all punch each other out and burn to the ground. This is what the devil does. It's too easy. You think, oh, I'm smarter than that. Nobody could do that. Well, not really, because your innocence can be taken advantage of. Are you just going to be paranoid and not let anybody join your painting company because you think they're going to infiltrate you from the inside out? No, you have to hire people. You want to give people jobs. You want to progress as a business, right? As with the gang, are they going to stop recruiting because they think someone's going to come into the gang and rape a woman, and then all of a sudden everybody hates the gang and thinks that they're a lie? No, they're going to keep recruiting. They're going to function. So bottom line is, you have to see the real deception. You're looking at Christianity and saying Christians are fucked. They're all pedophiles. They're all goofs. The Bible's a contradiction. No, these fake cults have recreated what the Bible represents and what it means. They've manipulated, changed, and altered it. That's the alteration you're talking about. They've recreated the Bibles, but the original Bible and the Greek scriptures, okay, and all that stuff remains the same and always has, okay? You think the Bible has been changed a million times over and blah, 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 because it's been translated so many times that it's been translated out of its original meaning. That's false. I've done research, okay? I've done research that you think you've done. For real, because I picked the Bible up and I actually read it, and then I looked at the different versions, the King James Version and all that stuff, and the Bible that was closest to the Greek and Hebrew scripture, okay? And I started from there and worked my way up, and then I seen what happened. It didn't change. The language changes, okay? Over 2,000 years, language changes. Certain things that meant what we say a word means today, 2,000 years ago, had a completely different meaning. This is what's causing the confusion. It's just been translated into our language to mean what we know certain things mean. I know that's almost doesn't make sense, but can you imagine how much language and communication has changed over the last 2,000 years? Exactly. Get real, okay? What the Bible is saying and what it meant 2,000 years ago is the same thing as what it's saying and meant now, okay? And I have the proof, and I'm going to show it to you. I'm going to start breaking this down, okay? Because I can't sit here. If I see something that don't add up and everybody's bullying Christians and bullying the Bible and picking on it and trying to pick it apart when I know the truth and it doesn't, and I've already discovered and uncovered all these things over the last 15 years, but I stayed silent because I didn't want to, get involved in politics. It's time now. God's calling on me, okay? Because I'm a warrior of truth. So you can say I've been deceived and I'm brainwashed and we ain't going to watch Cory Resilient no more because, he believes in God. Whatever, man. God proved himself to me in a way that's undeniable that nobody will ever take that away from me. Ever. I don't care what little devil, demon shit you ever say to me. It's never going to work. And I'm not some Bible thumping fucking weirdo on from some church. Never went to church. Was never around religion. Nobody spoke about God in front of me because I would have punched them out if they did. And I have. Okay? So I was a demon. I know what evil is and I know what good is. I know what truth is and I know what the lie is. And I'm going to break it all down. That's going to be my job now. So it is what it is. You don't like it? See ya. But bottom line is, just take that in for a minute. All of these examples of Christianity that you're against, that you say is a lie, a contradiction, and the Bible don't add up, and all these things, and blah, 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 and all these, historical defenses that you're trying to use and say that there's a million things, and they can all be debunked. All of them. Every single claim. Okay, I have a Bible study book that has broken down, so it's taken every single rejection of the Bible and breaking it down. So every doubt, everything that it says, like, why does the Bible have contradictions in it? Why does the Bible contradict itself? It breaks those things down. People have misread what is happening, so they look at it as a contradiction. Okay? Once you really pay attention, when you actually pick the book up and read it, you start to see how people have twisted and manipulated these things to make it look like it was contradicting itself. And you know what? When you only look at one phrase instead of a whole book, and you just pick one piece out of it, it can look pretty crazy sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Somebody once screenshotted something that I said in a conversation without the context, and they just screenshotted one thing that I said and posted it, and everyone was like, you piece of shit. If they read the whole conversation, they would have seen I was just talking about, metaphorically speaking about, how do I describe this? I was like in third person talking about something. And because I said that in third person, as if like, I'm trying to describe something. I'm not saying this is what I believe and this is what I'm saying, this is who I am. I'm looking at something saying, look, they said this, but the person just screenshotted it and it made me look like a psychopath. But if they read the entire conversation in the context that it was meant to be in, and they could see what I'm saying and in what perspective, they would have been like, oh, okay, he's just talking about this incident. He's not saying he did it, but you would never know that because you just seen a screenshot. You know what I'm saying? And people were turned against me because of that. People tried to like literally fight me over that. You know what I'm saying? And it was a lie. The person was trying to ruin my reputation by manipulating and taking advantage of the situation and not putting the whole context there. So you have to know the whole context. You have to read the whole conversation. You have to look at the whole book physically, not on your phone, not an app, not on YouTube videos, not on the internet. You have to pick the book up. And it has to be the right one because there's multiple cults acting as Christians, acting as Christian churches, and they are completely false doctrine. They are manipulating everything. So the Bible is true. It stayed true. It never changed. How it's been translated over time through languages has changed, but the meaning has not changed. But these cults have taken things out of the Bible and then added their own and made their own Bible. But there's still an original Bible that has always stayed true. It has not been altered. It hasn't been changed. It hasn't been taken from or added to. Okay? You have to understand that. And you'll only understand that if you get into the history. You know what I'm saying? And it's hard. It's not easy. You're talking about trying to become a rocket scientist. We're talking about archaeology. We're talking about historical events. We're talking about things that are outside of our comprehension level from 2,000 years ago, where they lived and thought and communicated differently in a way that you could never comprehend. It would be fucking insane. You'd be like, what the fuck? Like, some shit that I read from 2,000 years ago was fucking like, it means a different thing 2,000 years ago. Like whore, like the word whore. Okay, it meant something different 2,000 years ago. Okay, but if I were to say that in a conversation now, everyone would be outraged. They'd be like, "What the fuck? What do you say? Excuse me? Why did you just say that? Why would you say I'm a whore? Like, why would you use that word in this conversation?" They don't realize 2,000 years ago that word meant something completely different. That was not absurd. It was just a figure of speech. Anyways, people are just dumb, man. Like, I had to figure this out on my own, you know? And I did. And it took a long time. And I'm still learning. But you know what? I'm putting in a real, true effort. You know what I'm saying? Look at this. Okay, like, bro, I'm not playing around. I don't just, you know... I'm really on a search for truth. You know what I'm saying? I'm not just going to take sides with people and perspectives and stuff like that. I'm going to go find... If somebody says this guy's a rat or this guy's a snitch, I'm going to go right to him. And I'm going to ask for his paperwork. And I'm going to find out for real, in person, if he is or not. And then based off of that, you know, then I'll make my judgment. But not to say I would going to judge somebody, but... You know, people just pick that apart too. Some people just want to argue. They just want to fight. They're not really trying to find the truth. They're just into the whole politics of things. They're just into the engagement, you know, proving that they're right and you're wrong. You know what I mean? Like, so there's no arguing with people. There's no winning with people like that. It doesn't matter if, you know what? There's been situations where I've literally had video evidence of somebody doing something wrong. And I played the video to them. I'm like, bro, look, that's you doing this shit right now. No, it wasn't me. It was somebody else. It's not me. Bro, that's you right there in the video. You can see your face. You can see the crack in your tooth. Like, what are you talking? No, I swear to God, it's not me. People will lie to your face even though you literally witnessed it themselves. Or you have video evidence. People are just liars at heart. Some of us are actually trying to find the truth instead of just argue. And you can't win with some people. And even in the Bible, it says that some people will not, you know, be able to even read the word. They're not even going to be able to comprehend it. It's going to be like a foreign language to them. They will not be able to pick up on what the truth that's in it because it wasn't meant for them, because they automatically have a hardened heart. They come from the enemy already, Satan. They're already evil in their core. They might do kind things and do nice things, but... I'm telling you, man, if you know evil and you know good, you know there's a devil. If you ever did some gangster shit in your life, you ever sold crack, you ever kicked doors in, you ever sold meth, you ever did some evil fucking shit in your life, you know there's a devil before you even believe in a God. But it leads you, an evil life will lead you to God. You will have no choice but to admit and acknowledge that there is a God once you know evil, when you truly, truly know evil, when you've lived in it, mastered it, became a master manipulator. You will see God, you will know the truth, then you will understand good, and then you can make a conscious decision of who you are at that point. And I did. And I said, you know what? I was living an evil life because I was in an evil environment around evil people, and I was influenced by that, and I was born into that life as a child. I was already converted before I had a conscience. But when I grew up, when God revealed himself to me, before I even read the Bible, God revealed himself to me in multiple ways that I couldn't deny anymore. And I can't prove it to you. You can go your entire life and never witness God or experience anything because you have a closed heart. You're not open to that. You got your mind made up. God will never reveal himself to you. You live your entire life and never have an experience. So, bottom line is, man. See, and that's another thing. People be like, oh, the Bible is going to brainwash you, and it brainwashed you and stuff. Buddy, like, I found God and found the evidence of God to me before I even picked the Bible up, before I ever walked into a church, before I ever heard Jesus is the name or God or any of that stuff. I used to punch people out, bro, for talking about that to me. That's how evil I was. So you can't tell me. You didn't live that life. You don't know evil like I know it. Fucking guy. You know what I'm saying? So don't talk about it. Like, you never lived that life to talk about. You don't know good and evil. As much as you think you're a good person, you're not. You're a liar. You know what I'm saying? Everybody thinks they're a good person. But have you ever lied? If you have ever lied in your life, you're not a good person. And you might say, well, just because I lied once doesn't, say about who I am as a person. My character doesn't represent my character. Well, yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. But you know what? It's people's intent. If they're willing to admit, yeah, you know what? I did a lot of evil in my life. I've been a liar. I've been a deceiver, whatever. Technically, I'm not a good person, but I can strive to be a good person. You know what I'm saying? I could be more like Jesus. Jesus was a good person. He was a good example of a human being. If you don't believe in a God or anything or the Bible, just the character of Jesus Christ, people worship that alone. They don't even believe in a God, but they're like, Jesus was the purest example of what good is ever in history, in thousands of years. So, he wasn't doing no evil. People make up lies about Jesus Christ and say that he was sleeping with all types of crazy, blasphemous stuff. Bro, it's not true. You know what I'm saying? People said a lot of bad things about me too. It's not true, but I can't prove it. You know what I'm saying? But people are going to believe what they're going to believe. So, but if you're really trying to get to the truth, you're going to really put in an effort. You're going to pick the book up. You're going to read the entire Bible first and foremost. That's before anything. Because if people are all saying all this stuff about Jesus and about the Bible, like, read that first and then go from there. I lived in an apartment with a Muslim, an African guy, a Somalian guy, and a Jamaican guy. I've seen their religions. I've seen their cultures. I know their cultures. I lived with them. I ate with them. I break bread with them. I sold drugs with them. We slept in the same place. We lived together. I know these people. I know their cultures, their religions. You know what I mean? And I got a really unique perspective. Being able to really figure everything out. I've been putting in work on this. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm at a point of confidence. Okay? It's not a debate. But bottom line is, like I said, if I wanted to infiltrate you and ruin your reputation or your company or your gang or, your friendship with your friends, all I got to do is be your friend, hang out with you, and infiltrate you from the inside out and do blasphemous things that you guys don't represent. And then show the whole city that. The whole city will turn against you and hate you. I could frame anybody I want. That's what the devil does. He frames, he lies, slanders, turns people against each other. And the biggest thing that he wants to do is turn everybody against the truth. Because then they have no foundation at all, which makes them have to turn to evil and have to turn to him and worship him in his ways, because these worldly ways all belong to Satan. This whole world, everything to do with it, he owns and runs. And you play into it. You're attached to it. You live in the system. You have to participate. You got a SIN number. You're already owned by the system. Okay? So, bottom line is, think about that. Okay? All of these actual religions. Okay? I'll show you right now. Buddhism, Hinduism, Islam, Muslim, Mormon, Jehovah's Witness, another cult, Judaism, Roman Catholicism, all cults, all false. They have nothing to do with Christ. Jesus have nothing to do with the Bible. Liars. The Bible was before them. Christianity was before paganism. You can say whatever you want. I'll prove that too. You know what I'm saying? I've already done the research. And I could see where things got all twisty. You know what I'm saying? But people are just set. They just believe that they got to figure it out. But I never acted like that. I said I'm going to figure things out. People that think they have things figured out already, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on. And I'm willing to admit that I'm still learning. You know what I'm saying? But something is wrong, man. Something is wrong. And I've experienced the same atrocities against me. People making the craziest shit up about me and people believing it. Restaurants wouldn't let me go in there because they believed in some shit someone else said. Like, what the fuck? I got blackballed and blacklisted from a whole bunch of different places. And I'm thinking, holy fuck, they really believe this shit. Wow. So that's power, man. That's power. I could go and just turn anybody against anyone and have them just cut the fuck right off. Wow. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not like that, bro. That takes a bitch. You got to be a little coward, little weasel fucking bitch to go and manipulate and do those things. It's pussy hole. That doesn't align with my character. I'm not going to go and talk about you to other people and try and turn people against you. I don't involve myself in politics. People get shot in their fucking head for that shit where I come from. We don't do politics. Show me the paperwork. If you don't got no paperwork, shut the fuck up before you get banged out. That's how we rock. You know what I'm saying? Has to be on facts. Everybody says something about somebody else. I'm not going to listen to that until I see the proof. Till I witness them in person doing this shit. Till I see their paperwork. Whatever. But there's a game going on. And you guys are being deceived. You're the ones being deceived. You think Christians are being deceived. No. Real Christians already know about all these fake Christians and cults. And we're just sitting there like, wow. And the whole world thinks that these cults and these Christians and these churches represent what the Bible is talking and teaching about. And then they're just making things up, bro. It's crazy. They're twisting everything. I read the book and I was like, that's where they twisted that. That's where they thought this was a contradiction, but it's not, because they would have to read the entire context to understand. Oh my gosh. Wow. Blew my mind. I was like, no one's ever going to know until they read the Bible, and they've already made their mind up. They're not going to read the Bible. They're not going to, and if they do, they're not going to read it with an open mind and an open heart. They are not going to interpret or be able to comprehend. Period. They're on that side and they're staying on that side. Doesn't matter. It's your intent, and it's where your heart is. You know, are you trying to just prove people wrong? Or are you actually trying to know the truth? And are you willing to admit that maybe you were wrong? If not, then you're never going to know the truth. I had to realize. Like I said, I beat my own friend up for talking about Jesus in front of me. Like, come on, man. Like, I know better than anybody, okay? I'm not getting no brainwashed, homie. You know what I'm saying? You might want to, I think you missed something. You missed something, buddy. Trust me. Because I missed something. You know, but I was real enough to admit it and try and figure it out, you know what I'm saying? But I can't stand for this no more. I think people that pick on Christianity and Christians are a bunch of fucking pussy cowards, man. Because you know what? I have never been treated better in my life than Christian people. You know, maybe I have like one or two friends that have treated me well that aren't Christians, that don't believe in God or Jesus Christ. One or two, literally. Like, everyone's switched up on me. Everyone's betrayed me. You know, the only people that haven't betrayed me are people that are rooted in the Word of God and that are true Christians, not cults, not following cults, not Jehovah's, not Mormons, not Catholics. You know what I'm saying? All these things. Those are all cults, man. And they came after the Bible, okay? It wasn't before, okay? You know what I'm saying? You want to become a historical, scientist, and you know how hard it would be for you to do that, for you to even have the knowledge, to even argue or debate these things. These are historical. These are 2,000-year-old things, bro. You know what I'm saying? You're me or you ain't on that level. You know what I'm saying? And it would take us 30, 40, 50 years of indulging in that knowledge and everything historical and biblical and history. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a science, it's a math. You got to be a mathematician genius to really get to the core of these things. And there has been people that have done it that are those things. They are, you know what I'm saying? We see professors, we see famous scientists, we see, mathematicians, and we see all these unique people, and we think, wow, that guy's a genius. We'll never get on his level, because some people are just different. They were meant to they're just different. You know what I'm saying? Me and you could, learn something for 40 years, and this one autistic kid could come in there and learn it all in 1 year. That's something that took us 40 years would take that autistic kid 1 year to learn. Some people are unique, and they have done this work of investigating historically and biblically what's going on and breaking down all the different things. So it's a big topic, you know what I'm saying? But you know what? I seen it all happen firsthand. I looked at it and witnessed it, and I wasn't on either or side at any point in time. know what I'm saying? Well, actually, I was actually on the opposite side. You know what I mean? And I was an evil person back then. The Bible has done nothing but good for my life. It's changed the whole reason why you guys follow me or like who I am is because of the Bible. So if you don't like that I like the Bible, or that I'm a man of God and I'm a follower of Christ, then you need to go. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because the whole reason I am who I am was because of that book. I would still be out there gangbanging, fucking kicking doors in, selling crack, and slapping people out for talking about Jesus in front of me and doing pure fucking evil if I didn't pick that book up. That book saved my fucking life. Don't be like, oh, well, look, this guy thinks he's a good person or a Christian and blah, 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 and he's swearing and he's blah, 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 says he changed his life. Well, you know what? It's a work in progress. You know what I mean? It's the heart. It's the intent. If my intent was not pure, you would be seeing me out there. You know what I'm saying? You would be knowing about me. Trust me. I already lived that life. Go watch my music videos, Sincere Music. Go look me up on iTunes, Spotify. Go look my music videos up. I was a straight demon. I know evil better than any of you motherfuckers. I would conquer you in that world. You wouldn't eat around me. If I wanted to fucking take something from you or rob you or trick you or fucking finesse you, I would. And I'd get whatever I wanted. And as much as you think you're confident, so did everybody else that I fucked up. You know what I mean? Trust me. There's some people are just good, you know what I mean? Like, trust me, you don't want it. You know what I mean? Just stay out of the way. You're not built like that. Even me, there's bigger demons and gangsters than even me. But I was amongst them. And I could play the game and master it and conquer it. You know what I mean? But it doesn't last forever. You're going to get got. You're going to die. You're going to slip. You're going to go to jail for life. You're going to have to be forced to kill somebody, because if you want to commit to that life and say you're committed to that way of being, when push comes to shove and it's time to go, well, it's time to go. There's no backward. There's no way out. You got to go and do it. Bang. And that's your commitment to the rest of your life in jail or the retaliation that's going to have you killed. There's only one way out, and it's in a grave or jail cell for life, which will lead to a grave anyways, because you're going to have to fight every single day. You're going to have to stab more people. You're going to have to kill more people in jail because they're going to get you if you don't. There's no winning in that life. I already did it. So did my dad. He did 10 years in Collins Bay. One of my best friends that I grew up with has been in jail off and on for the last 10 plus years. He went in for 5. He did 3 quarters. He got out for 2 years. We chilled. He went back in for 5. I'm around, you know, I grew up around hitters and killers and people that are doing life sentences and people that have died. And I watched how they died from the life they were living. I was selling crack when I was a kid. I was doing all the evil gangster shit that anybody could possibly do to the highest extent. Not to the highest extent, because I stopped before I got on that level. I probably wouldn't have made it. But, you know, anybody that really lived that life knows exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? So, but the only reason I am like this and who I am and the knowledge that I have and the sense and the spirit that I have is literally from God. It's the only reason why I survived. It's the only reason why I spent 15 years in the streets homeless and didn't end up on fucking meth, okay? It doesn't happen. There's something unique about me, and it was God. I like I said, I experienced God before I even picked the Bible up, but the Bible fed that in me. You know what I'm saying? It gave me the tools necessary to avoid the traps of the devil or the enemy. If you don't believe that the enemy exists, if you don't believe that Satan is real, how are you going to defend yourself against an enemy that you can't see, that you don't even think is real? You are a fucking wide open target. I could do anything I want to you and trick you in any way I want, because you don't have the knowledge and you don't have the sensibility to defend yourself, because you already blocked yourself from even thinking it exists. You know what I'm saying? Bro, there's levels to this. I've touched all the levels, you know what I'm saying? But there's lots to be learned, you know. But bottom line is, you got to be willing. You got to be, like I said, I told you, man. You know where I come from. You know what life I live. Whatever, man. And there's demons, you know, that are on me right now, bro. Like, bro, I got hits on my head. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, I've been in a war before. You know what I'm saying? We were out there in the streets going like this. You know what I mean? So there's not much anybody can tell me about evil that I don't know internally. You know what I'm saying? But there's demons that already want to kill me right now. There's demons that are actively looking for me to end my life. There's gangsters, higher up than I've ever been in my life. There's fucking demons that are on some next level shit that hate me because I'm a child of God and they want to destroy me. And God has literally destroyed them right in front of me before they could even get near me. I could tell you stories, man. Crazy, crazy shit. Bullets missing me like I'm fucking Neo in the Matrix. Crazy, crazy shit. Nobody would believe me anyways, even if I told them, so I don't even talk about it. So whatever. It is what it is. I'm only talking to the people that have ears to hear and eyes to see. Everyone else, they want to be in denial. They don't want to investigate. And they don't have a criminal, demon, devil, evil background or history or mind or spirit like I do. So they can't even see the play. You're not even in the fucking game. You've never been in the game. How the fuck do you know how the game works? Stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like, on some real shit. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not even acting like I'm a goody good Christian or whatever and stuff like that. I'm a bad example of a Christian. I would be a bad representation of what Jesus Christ was. It doesn't mean that I can't see the truth, though. See? And I'm not out there, saying I'm a Christian and preaching God and then, out swearing on the internet. Like, yeah. Here's the thing. I'm a follower of Christ. I wouldn't call myself a Christian. You know what I mean? I'm a follower of Jesus Christ. I do believe in Jesus Christ. I do believe in God. You know what I'm saying? But I know that I'm living in my sin still and I'm feeding the flesh. I know that I'm messing up. I know that I'm not doing what God wants me to do. I know that I'm not living the way the Bible wants me to live. And it's causing consequences in my life. Sin leads to death, ultimately. But if you've seen my progression in evolution since I was a 14-year-old kid up until now, the only thing that you would be able to see is that is the hand of God. There is no explanation for someone. It's crazy. It's crazy. That's why I have documentaries about my life on the internet. That, like, there's documentaries done on me. Okay? There's news articles on me. Like, I'm not just an average Joe. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I can conquer any life that I wanted to live. Like, I could have been still out there doing evil. There's a reason why I turned around. God opened my mind. He opened my heart. He opened my eyes. Now I can see. That's why I'm still alive. That's why I was just homeless in a tent not too long ago, and now I have a condo. Okay? But nobody will admit that. Nobody will say anything about that. These people a year and a half ago were saying you're a homeless bum in a tent and get a job, you fucking loser, and blah blah. Now I have a condo. Where are they? Can't hear you. Where are you? Can't hear you. Where did these guys go? Where are they? Like, how come they're not saying anything anymore? That's weird. Okay, I've been proving myself. But guess what? It's not me. It's not my works. It's God. Okay? I know what I do and I know what God does. You know what I mean? I couldn't have done... Like I said, I'd be dead already. I would have been left in jail. Would have been left on a sidewalk with a bullet hole in my head. Or I would have been a drug addict. You know what I'm saying? But I was able to resist temptation, resist anything that would destroy me because of the power of God, because of the Holy Spirit, because I prayed for it. I opened up to God and I asked to receive it, and He gave it to me, and it allowed me to conquer all of my adversaries. All of my enemies were destroyed. People that tried to kill me died on the way to come kill me. You don't see anybody evolve and progress as much as I have in my life in the last 10 years. You don't never see that. It's very unique. It's very rare. It doesn't happen. I'm less than 1%. I'm less than 1%. I was out there in the street all my life. Nobody made it out. They're all dead. They're all on drugs. They're all fucking still homeless. There's no way out. The only way out is the power of God. God is the only thing that can get you out of any jam that you're in your life. Change you in any way that can... You will not be able to overcome addiction. You will not be able to overcome alcoholism. You will fall back to it because it's... I'll make a whole video on that. I actually have made videos on that. But listen, man, when I, you know what I mean? Like, when I was young, when I was like, young teen, I did everything, you know what I mean? Like, I did ecstasy, teenager shit, like coke, you know what I'm saying? Here and there, but I never God never let me be consumed by it because he had a future for me. He had a purpose for me. So the only reason why I'm alive is because of God. And the only reason why I'm as intelligent as I am and we're able to avoid all the traps and snares of the enemy throughout my life was because of the Bible. It teaches you how to move militant. You know what I'm saying? All the stuff that people are saying about the Bible is so fucking the opposite of what I read inside of it. So nobody's ever going to know the truth until they actually read the Bible, and they ain't going to do it. You know how hard it is to read that book already? You guys ain't got it. You ain't going to do it. You know what I mean? You're just going to go on Google and fucking be like, did God have a wife? Is Jesus a liar? Did he lie? Was Jesus sleeping with multiple women in Israel? Like, you're just going to do shit like that. And you're going to get exactly what you're looking for. Because anybody can put something on the internet. But it's huge. This thing is huge. You know what I mean? You got to really, really have the intent to want to figure out the truth. And it's going to take you your lifetime. You know what I mean? But it's also going to preserve you. Like I said, you can't defend yourself against something that you can't see or that you don't even think is there. You're going to get hit right in your head top. You're not ready. You can't overcome it, any evil or sin or anything without God. You just can't. I know because I've seen all these people. My dad died. He didn't believe in God. My first love died. She didn't believe in God. My best friend died. He didn't believe in God. How many people that I know that have died because they literally did not have the spiritual power that I had, that I rooted myself in God, and that's what allowed me to live, and they died as a direct result. They didn't have what they needed to defend themselves, to overcome what was conquering them, what was consuming them, and they perished. I'm 30 years old. I've been watching this my whole life. I'm telling you, there's power in the name Jesus Christ. And Yahshua just means Jesus in Hebrew. So you didn't prove anything there either. Like, this is the thing, man. Let me see. I'm really going to get into this book, man. Like, it's a it's a complete breakdown of the Bible. Complete. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's like 2,000, 3,000 pages in it. Like, but that's my intent. You know what I mean? Every single argument against the Bible is in that book. Every single thing. Like, why didn't God do this? Why did God do this? If God is real, then how come this happens? If God is real, how come he allows evil to thrive and exist? All the questions you've ever had about God or the Bible are in this book. And there's a complete breakdown using the scripture. So once you really look at it like that and you really investigate and you actually study, like, it's a full-time job. It's like going to college. It's not a joke. Like, you got to be dedicated. And 99.5% of people aren't going to do it. Period. But it's disturbing the way everyone's going against Christians, and they've all been deceived to think these false prophets and these false churches and these cults that are claiming to be Christian and claiming to be preaching the word of God and all this stuff, that if you really knew the word of God and you really read that book, you would know that they're all full of shit. You would know that. But you don't know that because you didn't read the book. You just didn't read the book. You have to read the book first before you can enter the conversation. You have to physically read the book. It can't be the Jehovah Bible. It can't be the Mormon Bible. You know what I'm saying? It can't be the Catholic Bible. You can't be deceived by these cults. And it gives you a bad taste in your mouth of Christianity. And then you're like, Christianity is a lie. Christians are a lie. You're all deceived. Fuck you guys. You're all pedophiles. Blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? But you see how the devil infiltrated you? He did it through these false entities. Caused confusion and chaos for you, which turned you away from the truth, which put a bad taste in your mouth for God. And you said no. And then you reject God. And then the devil has full control over your life. And he can harm you. And you have no protection. You're running through a war zone without a fucking bulletproof vest. That's what's happening to you. Anyways, I'll get into it, man. Cory Resilient. Share this video. Hit the like. I'm out.